Hey guys, Blizzica here, and I am back with DeltaX5 for another deck recipe. This is a different deck recipe. This is his Herald deck, slash agent.
Yeah, it's kind of like a Herald agent mix.
Okay, well, without further ado, I'll let you go. Oh, one more thing. I do want to say, please subscribe. It would be very nice. And also, please leave some comments on some ideas that you want. So, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so I guess like we said, this is a recipe for my sort of Herald agent mix. It was my main deck for a long time before I got really into this game. So it's not fully up to date, so, well, here we go. I'm running one agent of Miracle's Jupiter, and he's good for if you have any other of my agents in the graveyards, he can just banish them straight for an 800 point power boost, so that can be helpful when you're trying to defeat your opponent's high-level monsters, or if they're attacking you, it's kind of like it can be like an honest sort of thing for 800 points. So he's good for just power boosting. And then I'm running Majestic Mech Goryu because he's got a ridiculous amount of attack power. He's got 2900, and the effect where he can be summoned with one tribute for a turn is really helpful if you're just trying to get something out of the way, and you don't need him to be around for very long. Plus, he inflicts piercing battle damage, which is always helpful, so he's just a pretty good tank all around to have. And then I'm running an Honest, of course, because I don't think I need to explain an Honest. It's just helpful, especially in a fairy deck. I'm running one Archlord Christia, and this is helpful for either preventing your opponent from special summoning, or if you just want to get a card out right away, and if you have 4 in your graveyard, you can just get Christia out right off the bat. So it's good for an immediate special summon. It's got good power. Marshmallow, because it's a great defensive card, can't be destroyed by battle. Just, a Shining Angel, because it's good to have as sort of a shield, so either you can get one of the cards you want more than Shining Angel out, or you can use it as a double kind of defense. If your opponent's going to attack you, you can just summon another monster and keep your defense up. I'm running a Victoria, because the attack is good, and plus if I go up against any dragon decks, I can take control of their dragon-type monsters in their graveyard, which is a little fun effect. Aeronite Parshath, because I like the piercing damage on him, and he's only 5 stars, so he's a good mid-range monster. And plus he's good for farming cards. If you can just keep inflicting little bits of damage to your opponent, you can draw a card each time you do. So he's good for just card drawing. I'm running an Athena. And Athena is another good mid-range power monster. Her effect is when you summon a fairy-type monster, which is every monster in this deck, you inflict 600 points of damage to your opponent. Plus, if you have another fairy-type monster on the field, you can tribute that and switch it out for a monster in your graveyard, which is great, because you get another 600 points, plus a stronger fairy-type monster, presumably. So it's good for just dealing damage. I'm running a Hecatrice, and that's good for getting Valhalla to your hand. You can just discard it and get Valhalla to your hand. That's pretty much the only reason. I'm running Agent of Judgment Saturn as another agent. She's the strongest of the agents, just as a good power boost, and the effect with Sanctuary, you contribute it to inflict the difference to your opponent, which is great, because, if you're way ahead, you can just pretty much finish the game. Voltanis the Abdicator, I just got a lot of strong monsters in here because I've got Valhalla, and it's easy to slap him out real fast every turn. So he's basically, because the counter trap I don't use that often effect, so he's just good for the 28. I'm running a Zeradius, because if I've got Sanctuary on the field, he's a really powerful 4-star monster. I mean, he's just a really good 4-star monster if I can get Sanctuary out there. Joan, her effect where you regain life points if you destroy an opponent's monster is great. It's really good for healing yourself if you're down. And like I said, I'm running just powerful fairy types with an attack of 2800. And I got another Agent of Mystery Earth. This card lets you get off a lot of combos. If you have Sanctuary on the field, you can summon this, automatically get a Master Hyperion into your hand, and then basically you can either banish it or another agent you have somewhere to just get Master Hyperion out right away. So it's a good one-turn Hyperion summon. I'm running Majestic Mech Akka, because he's just a good power monster. Tethys, Goddess of Light, she works really well with the Herald. Every time you draw a fairy-type monster, you can show it to your opponent and keep drawing. So she's good to just get fairy-type monsters in your hand if you want to use Herald's effect. Soul of Purity and Light, it's good for a quick special summon. You can just banish 2 fairy monsters or 2 light monsters in your graveyard and get it out there, and it's got a decent amount of power, plus it takes your opponent's monsters down by 300 points during their battle phase, which is nice. Of course, Master Hyperion for the agent monsters, he's got a great effect. You can banish a fairy or a light type in your graveyard and destroy a card in the field, and if Sanctuary is in the field, you can do it up to twice per turn, so that's great. Plus his attack with 27. Splendid Venus, one of my favorite cards in here. She's got 28, plus she has the effect where she takes away 500 points of attack and defense from all your opponent's monster, which is just fantastic. Nova Summoner, like for the same reason as Shining Angel. Consecrated Light, I don't know why this is still in here. probably gonna take it out. But it's really good if you're going up against a dark type deck consistently, because it's really hard for an opponent who has dark type monsters to do anything about it.
I don't mean to butt in here, but I think if you guys do want to use it as more of like a slide deck card.
Side deck.
Side deck. Sorry.
All right, now we're getting into the repetitions. I'm running 2 Venus because she's just a good summon monster. She's got a decent amount of attack, and she's good to just summon. 2 Gekuten Megami, which is really good for using advanced ritual art on, because you have to have normal type monsters. So to get Herald out, you can just advanced ritual it and send to the grave right away. And that's an old card, and it's rare to see. Alright, I'm running 2 Senju, 1,000 Hands, which is good because you can get Herald to your hand right off the bat when you summon it. Then I've got 3 Manju, which is like a better version of Herald, or not better version of Senju, because you can get ritual card or monster to your hand. So if you draw a Senju and a Manju, or 2 Manjus, you can get Herald out second turn, most likely. Maybe third turn, I don't know. And then moving on to the spells, I'm running a Smashing Ground, because it's Smashing Ground. A Mausoleum of the Emperor as a backup field spell in case I need to get some monsters out quickly. And a Kibio Drekmore because it's helpful against opponent's monsters just for managing them. Celestial Transformation because it's good because I can special summon a monster if I'm just going to tribute it right away because it's destroyed the turn after. So I can just Celestial Transformation something, then tribute it for a stronger monster. Solidarity, which is a really great card. If you have one printed type of card in your graveyard, which I do because they're all fairies, all other fairies in your field gain 800 attack points, which is a huge benefit. Wave Motion Cannon, I think I need to explain this. It's Wave Motion Cannon. Advanced Ritual Art, like I said, I've got 2 of those. They're even better than Dawn of the Herald, actually, but only if I have my Gekuten Megami, because it allows me to automatically send Gekuten Megami from my deck to the graveyard so I can Ritual Herald, so it's a great card. Terraformings for either Sanctuary in the Sky or Mausoleum of the Emperor. Aforementioned Sanctuary in the Sky. It's good with a lot of fairy-type monsters' effects, and it prevents them from taking battle damage. 2 Valhallas. Valhalla's a great card. If you have no monsters in the field, you can just special summon a fairy-type monster immediately. So any monster. Hold on there. Yes? I've got Valhalla Hall of the Fallen, which is great because I can special summon fairy-type monsters if I control none, so I can just get an 8, 7, or 8 star really strong monster out there with no penalty. And last for the spells, I've got Dawn of the Herald, which is basically just it is the ritual card for Herald, and I don't think I need to explain why I have that.
Sorry about that little interruption, guys.
Okay, and on the traps I have Rigeki Break, Dimensional Prison, these are all just pretty much counter monster traps. Trap Hole, of course Mirror Force, Intrigue Shield is a good defense card, Beckoning Light in case I have a crappy hand and I want to just get monsters from my graveyard, Divine Punishment, it's good to negate anything if I have Sanctuary in the field, Sakaratsu, it's good just to stop opponent's monsters, and Draining Shield. And then, of course, for my Herald deck, I'm running 3 Heralds for the Herald deck. And that about sums it up for my Herald / Agent / all-around fairy deck recipe.
Okay, well, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.